Hello guys, welcome back. Breaking things down into simple concepts. What I've found over the years is that the more complicated and convoluted a system becomes, the worse it becomes at teaching natural, easy, free singing. Even myself, the last few weeks, I've had various epiphanies, various kind of things in my mind going on that have made me realize, it's even simpler than I thought. It's even more basic than I thought. This is one thing that children seem to grasp just so intuitively. And really, it's very plain. You know, if you think about it, a kid is not particularly bright. They're not particularly, intelligent in the traditional sense of the word. But what they are very good at doing is paying attention to very small details. They're very observant, they're very present in the moment, and they have a lot of time to whittle away at problems. The problem with adults is they're in a rush. They want typically a lot of complicated information that kind of constructs something very quickly for them. They've got families, they've got jobs, they've got responsibilities, they've got bills to pay, etc., etc. Makes it very hard for them to learn to sing and take the time required. I've faced this problem many times. I've always wanted to be further forward than I have been. I've always been in a rush to get good. And over the years, I've realised if I'd have just took my time and accepted this is going to take a long time if I want to get really good at this, I would have probably avoided some of the pitfalls and traps that I have faced and dug myself out of, so to speak. So the idea of simple concepts, why we break it down, is because kids who learn naturally are thinking very simple. They're not thinking, in terminology like mix, like chest, like head, like claw, like whatever it is. They aren't thinking in those terms. They just make the sounds. They copy, they mimic, etc. But also, even more broadly than that, what they're doing is very simple. They aren't coming up with these kind of convoluted, complicated adjustments in the mid-range in order to avoid the break. They just go right through it. They just thin out the voice and do it. Very simple, very plain, very easy. What I want to communicate in this video is that in one sense, the more dull, the more plain, the more simple your technique becomes, the better, more efficient, more impressive it becomes. Great technique is extremely simple. It's extremely simple. Yeah, I can't kind of emphasize that point enough. The better you get as a singer, the more simple your technique and approach will become, to the point where it's easy to forget why it was hard. And the reason it's hard for people is because they've put loads and loads of obstacles in the way. They've got loads and loads of complicated, convoluted knowledge that's logical knowledge. It's all thought through, it's all methodical. And they've distanced themselves from just an intuitive, simple approach, which is what we need to learn really if we're talking about wanting to sound natural and easy. So be wary of teachers and coaches who make singing sound very complicated, make singing sound like you need to read a very thick book in order to understand these hugely complicated concepts and things. You don't. You just need to listen to your favourite artists. You need to copy them. When you hit roadblocks, you need to figure out why. What have I put in the way to make that difficult? It can be something just as simple as mentally the way I'm approaching high notes is different to the way I approach low notes. Yeah? It can be as simple as noticing as I go up in a scale, I start to feel anticipation and fear. How can I go up in this scale and disregard that and just execute it the same throughout without any kind of emotions getting involved in it? Very calmly, very openly, being comfortable making mistakes. This is the kind of mindset a child's in. They have no fear. They don't care if they make mistakes. They try, they fail, they fall over and over and over and over again, and gradually they get good. Adults are uncomfortable making mistakes, frankly. They do not want to. And even people that are comfortable or more comfortable than would be average, like myself, still find it incredibly difficult. Yeah? There's something about young people that finds it easier to fall over, easier to fail. They have less expectations. They put less expectations on themselves. They're in less of a rush to get good. Part of this is practical. They've got a lot of time in front of them. They've got their whole lives to learn this stuff. You get to 30, 35, 40. You start thinking, is this ever going to come together for me? I'm running out of time. Come on, I've got to get going. This type of thing starts creeping into your mind. It can cause issues. Make singing simple. Make it very easy, simple. Just go up and down in the scale. Keep the same mindset. Keep very calm. Be comfortable making mistakes. Don't be overly concerned when it goes wrong. But try and get good at the skills. The skills are what pay the bills, ultimately. If you get skillful at what you're doing, your voice will become reliable. It will become predictable. It will enable you to start developing some real solid confidence. Now, this year myself, I've had a lot more confidence than I did even a year ago. But even in the last few weeks, I felt like I can actually be more confident. And the reason I felt like that is because I found some holes in what I was doing. I found some sloppiness in the execution. And all of a sudden, bang, I'm singing more confidently, more certainty, more confidence, which leads to better singing, which leads to more confidence and more certainty. You've got to get into this cycle of positive reinforcement. That is really the goal you want. And the thing is, you can't fake it. That confidence will break at the limits of the technique. What I mean by that is, once you start hitting unreliability and unpredictability in your technique, that leads into a slight loss of confidence. So these two things, technique and confidence, literally are binded together. They're bound together, and it's separable in many ways. This is why the best singers seem to ooze confidence. They seem to be absolutely certain, because their technique is simple enough and well executed enough that it's so consistent they don't have to stress about it anymore. They can just let go and enjoy the music. What I found myself just recently is that, with the execution, I've got more confidence, and it's given me a sense of, okay, this can be even simpler than I thought. There was things I thought even a month ago that now I think, they were basically almost there, but they can be simpler. It can be whittled down. It can be sharpened up even more to the point where I'm basically just doing one thing, and that's it. That's what I feel like right now. It's like I just do one thing when I sing. I don't have to think about anything else. I don't think about resonance. I don't think about, is this chest or head? I don't think about, is this M1? Is this M2? Anything like that. Literally, I just do one thing when I sing. And that's what you want to get to. Just letting go. That's it, guys. Keep it simple, keep it relaxed, keep it calm, and I'll see you in another video. Bye! Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want my help personally, you can book a one-on-one training session. Drop me a message. My email is in the description. And if you feel like this message was of value, then please feel free to make a donation equal to that value. Again, donation link is in the description. And finally, please share this video with other singers you know. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in another video. Bye!